of the Official Opposition.
We already knew that the Prime Minister is not worth the price of food after 8 years of inflation. But yesterday he couldn't answer how a mushroom farm in my riding is supposed to pay its $100,000 carbon tax bill. Well, he did send the farm a Christmas present, a new bill. This is the November 9th to December 6th bill. Federal carbon tax, $16,050 for 1 month. And it's not even winter yet, Mr. Speaker. How would the Prime Minister like this farm to pay this $16,000 monthly bill? Raise food prices?
I also have to warn people about using props in the House. The Honourable Minister of Environment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm very happy to be I was in Dubai.
But I'm going to allow the Honourable Minister to start from scratch. The Honourable Minister of Environment.
I was in Dubai at COP28 in good company, Mr. Speaker, with the Premier of Alberta, Danielle Smith, with the Premier of Saskatchewan, Scott Moe, with representatives from almost all the Canadian provinces and business leaders from all across the country, Mr. Speaker, working to ensure that our kids and grandkids have a future, something, unfortunately, that the Conservatives fail to understand.
The Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, this is more high-flying, high-cost, high-tax hypocrisy from the Minister of Carbon Taxes. We learned that he spent $150,000 on one weekend of travel and charged it to taxpayers. Isn't it interesting that that's exactly how much they're charging the Carleton Mushroom Farm in carbon taxes for a year? So, can the Minister please tell us, the Carleton Mushroom Farm is going to spend this year now about $150,000 grand on carbon taxes. Will that just pay for one of his junkets?
I also have to remind members just to use the proper names of the ministers. The Honourable Minister.
In reference to hypocrisy, Mr. Speaker, I refer back to Neville Chamberlain when he referred to Czechoslovakia's invasion by Nazi Germany. And in that, he referred to Czechoslovakia as a faraway land. And in reply to that, Sir Winston Churchill gave one of his greatest speeches. He gave a speech of impunity that Roy Jenkins said was one of his greatest, calling him an absolute coward, a capitulator. We should learn from such great men, not just about hypocrisy, but by keeping our solemn oaths to freedom and democracy in this world.
The Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, for this Prime Minister to pass himself off as Winston Churchill after he gave detonators for mines to the Russian military so that they could use them against Ukrainians, after he allowed the Iranian-linked IRGC to operate legally in Canada, 700 of its agents, by the way, which are also linked to Russia, operating in our country and terrorizing our people. Mr. Speaker, this is not Churchillian. This is hypocritical political grandstanding by a Prime Minister trying to distract from his failed carbon tax.
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Speaker, there's another great Englishman who would say to the Leader of the Opposition, "Thou doth protest too much," I believe. And I would ask if any of those members have the courage of their conviction to stand up to the bullying that the Leader of the Opposition is imposing on them. In fact, there is one. The member from Lethbridge is the only Conservative MP who voted in favour of the Canada-Ukraine Free Trade Agreement on Tuesday. Mr. Speaker, I would ask, are there any other Conservative members who have the courage of their conviction to stand up for freedom, democracy, and